Horrible things astronauts saw and never told. Look at this image. The Earth floating in the endless darkness, blue, bright, and perfectly alive. From here it looks peaceful, calm, almost fragile. But the astronauts who've been up there, they know better. Because when you stare at Earth from space, you also see what no one should ever see. The abyss. The true face of the universe. When astronauts return home, they talk about beauty. About how small we are, how united humanity should be. They say space gives you perspective, that it makes you appreciate life. That's what they tell the cameras. What they don't tell is the horror behind the silence. Space isn't peaceful, it's lethal. Every breath up there is borrowed time. The first horror is invisible. It has no face, no sound, no warning. But it's always there, passing through everything, even through you. Radiation, the invisible hunter of space. Down here, Earth protects us. Our atmosphere and magnetic field act like armor. Up there, that protection is gone. Astronauts are exposed to the full fury of the cosmos. Constant storms of charged particles from the sun. And cosmic rays born in explosions of dying stars, traveling for millions of years just to hit you. Imagine being inside the International Space Station, working, floating, surrounded by humming machines. Suddenly, a particle smaller than an atom crosses through your skull at almost the speed of light. You don't feel it, but it leaves a scar, deep in your DNA. Scientists call them high-energy cosmic particles. Astronauts call them ghosts. Because sometimes when they close their eyes, they see them. Flashes of blue, green, or white light burst inside their vision. They're not dreams, not illusions. They're subatomic bullets from outer space. Thousands of them pierce the station every second. They go through metal, plastic, human flesh. They alter cells, mutate genes, twist the body from within. And the worst part? You can't hide from them. There's no wall thick enough, no shelter deep enough. The universe is always aiming at you. NASA knows this. That's why missions are carefully timed, limited to 6 months. Beyond that, the radiation damage becomes dangerous, but even then, it's already happening. Every second in orbit, DNA breaks and repairs itself, again and again. It's like trying to patch a glass window during a sandstorm. And those flashes of light? Astronauts still joke about them. Free fireworks, they say. But deep down, they all know what it means. Some have reported memory changes after long missions. Others show signs of higher cancer risk years later. It's not superstition, it's biology. The invisible hunter never misses. It just takes its time. And that's only the first horror. The second one is quieter. It doesn't come from outside. It comes from you. Microgravity. The condition where everything floats, and the body starts to forget how to be human. At first, it's fun. Astronauts bounce, twist, laugh, take videos of floating water bubbles. It looks like freedom. But inside, the body begins to panic. Without gravity, fluids rush upward. Your face swells, your head pounds. It feels like standing upside down for hours. The brain thinks there's too much blood pressure, so it tries to fix it by removing fluids. The result? You start to dehydrate, in space. Then bones begin to dissolve, literally. The skeleton weakens because it doesn't have to hold you up anymore. One astronaut said, "I lost so much calcium up there that I joked I could build a small moon out of it." Muscles fade too. Every day without gravity, your body gets weaker. That's why astronauts train for 2 hours daily. Not to get stronger, just to stay alive. And even with all the effort, they still lose up to 20% of muscle mass during long missions. The heart, too, becomes lazy. It doesn't have to fight gravity to pump blood. So when astronauts return to Earth, standing up feels like climbing a mountain. They faint, they vomit, they struggle to walk. That's what they don't show in the press photos. This is the beginning of the slow thaw, the process where the human body melts from the inside out, and we've only just started. The slow thaw, that's what astronauts call it, quietly between themselves. Because every system in the body starts to break down, little by little. Bones lose density, muscles lose strength. Even the blood itself begins to change. NASA calls it space anemia. It sounds harmless, but it means your body is literally producing fewer red blood cells. Less oxygen, less energy. Imagine feeling dizzy all day while floating hundreds of miles above the planet. There's no gravity to help the blood flow. Your heart has to guess how to work. The immune system gets confused too. Up there, it stops following its normal rhythm. The body starts fighting itself, releasing signals of inflammation. That's why small cuts heal slower in space. And some astronauts come home with strange rashes, allergies, even dormant viruses reactivated. Yes, viruses that your body defeated years ago can wake up again in orbit. Herpes, shingles, cold sores, all coming back to say hello from zero gravity. One astronaut said with dark humor, "It's like my immune system went on vacation but forgot to come back." Even the kidneys are at risk. Without gravity, calcium from dissolving bones floats into the bloodstream. The kidneys have to filter it all, and fail. That's how kidney stones form, hard crystals that can cause unbearable pain. Now imagine being stuck in a metal capsule, hundreds of kilometers above Earth, with a kidney stone. No hospitals, no doctors, just floating agony. That's why astronauts drink 2 or 3 liters of water a day. Hydration is survival. Every mission becomes a constant war against their own biology. 2 hours of exercise, careful nutrition, hydration logs, blood samples every week. Each astronaut turns into a living experiment. Every heartbeat, every muscle twitch, every drop of sweat. Recorded, analyzed, compared. They train their minds to stay calm. But deep down, everyone knows one truth. Space doesn't want you there. When the mission ends, the return to Earth feels like falling into another world. Gravity hits like a hammer. The first steps on solid ground feel wrong, heavy, alien. Some astronauts cry without warning. Not because they're emotional, because their nervous system literally misfires. Their brains are confused. Their balance system thinks the room is still spinning. It takes days, sometimes weeks, to feel human again. One astronaut joked during rehab, "I spent months learning how to walk in space, and now I have to learn how to walk again on Earth." Everyone laughed, but you could see the pain behind the smile. Because even after coming home, the space damage stays. Weakened bones, altered DNA, strange immune patterns that last for years. This is the second horror, the slow thaw, the invisible decay that space brings into the body. And if that weren't enough, there's one more. The one that doesn't attack a person, but the entire species. The third horror, the specter of extinction. When astronauts look out the window of the ISS, they see the Earth shining below. But behind that beauty, there's something else. Movement. Countless rocks and fragments drifting across space, crossing Earth's orbit like bullets in slow motion. They are called near-Earth objects, NEOs. Asteroids and comets that come close enough to our planet to be a threat. Some are small, the size of cars. Others are mountains flying through the void. NASA and ESA track thousands of them, but the truth is, we've only found about half. The rest? Still out there, invisible, waiting. A single rock 140 meters across could erase a city in seconds. A 10-kilometer one could wipe out humanity. And statistically, both sizes already exist, on orbital paths that cross ours. Every time an astronaut stares into the darkness, they know this. They're looking at the shooting gallery of the universe. And our planet is the target. In 2022, something remarkable happened. NASA launched a mission called DART. Its goal, crash a spacecraft into a small asteroid to see if we could change its path. It worked. The asteroid Dimorphos shifted its orbit by 33 minutes. Humanity's first real planetary defense test. A success. But also, a reminder. If we're practicing, it means the threat is real. Astronauts talk about it sometimes quietly. They joke about space rocks with bad timing. But when they look down at the blue Earth, that humor fades. They know that we live under constant cosmic risk, and that someday, maybe centuries from now, or maybe next week, One of those rocks will be too close, too fast, and too big to stop. That's the third horror, the fear of total extinction. The knowledge that life on Earth depends on cosmic math and luck. And yet, even after seeing all this, they still go back. Space doesn't care. That's what every astronaut learns sooner or later. It doesn't care about your courage, your technology, your dreams. It's silent, beautiful, and merciless. Every mission into orbit is a battle against that indifference and against time. A fight that humans win, but only temporarily. The horrors of space are not myths. They're not alien ghosts or hidden monsters. They're the cold, measurable consequences of physics. Radiation that rewrites DNA. Microgravity that dissolves muscle and bone. Asteroids that could erase us in a blink. The universe is not a villain, but it also isn't our friend. And yet, despite everything, people keep signing up. Astronauts still volunteer. They still launch themselves into the void, smiling for the camera, waving goodbye to Earth. Why? Because up there beyond the fear there's something else, something that makes it all worth it. Perspective. From space, the borders disappear. The wars, the politics, the noise, all gone. You see one planet, one fragile bubble of life, floating in black infinity. That view changes people. It breaks them down and rebuilds them into something new. That's why, even after seeing horrors, they keep going back. They aren't chasing fame, they're chasing meaning. One astronaut described it best. When you're up there, you realize Earth isn't just home. It's a miracle. And miracles are worth protecting. It's poetic, but also true. Because everything we've ever known, every city, every mountain, every person, exists in a thin film of air, smaller than an apple's skin compared to the size of the planet. That's what astronauts see when they look down. That's what terrifies them the most. Not what's out there, but how fragile everything down here really is. The horrors of space reveal what it means to be human, to endure, to adapt, to explore, even when the odds are impossible. Every breath taken in orbit is an act of rebellion against the universe. Every mission is a message. We're still here. Scientists and engineers continue to study these dangers. Radiation shields made of carbon nanotubes, artificial gravity experiments, planetary defense systems to detect and deflect cosmic threats. Each discovery, each test is one more step in humanity's survival. We're learning to fight the darkness with knowledge, and the ones who risk their lives up there are the reason we even know what we're up against. But those who return from orbit are never the same. Some describe moments of panic when they see the night sky again. Others, strange dreams of floating endlessly. Their minds replay the silence, the isolation, the lights flashing behind their eyes. The horrors stay with them, invisible scars written into their memories. And yet, when asked if they'd go again, most say yes. Because once you've seen Earth from space, you can't unsee it. You understand how small, how delicate, how temporary everything is. And you start to feel grateful. Maybe that's the secret the astronauts never tell. Not just the danger, but the perspective. The strange, painful beauty of knowing how fragile life really is. So next time you look up at the night sky, remember this. There are people up there right now, floating in silence, fighting invisible monsters, radiation, isolation, time. And they do it not just for science, but for all of us. Because our future depends on them, on those who dare to look at the darkness and keep going. If our own solar system hides such dangers, what kind of nightmares exist beyond it? What worlds orbit other stars? Planets made of fire, glass, or endless storms. Worlds where rain falls as molten metal and gravity could crush a human in seconds. That's where we'll go next, beyond our star. To explore the strangest, most terrifying exoplanets ever discovered by Hubble and the European Southern Observatory. Subscribe to Space, turn on notifications, and join us on the next journey through the unknown. Because the universe isn't made of atoms, it's made of stories, and ours has only just begun.